Yeah, mosquito. It's a mosquito in
Welcome
here.
back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nurse the Bullying host Leroy, aka Beats, Bears, and Battlestar Galactica, with my co-hosts.
All right. This is Eli, aka Michael Angelato.
There we go. Yeah, we're back with the episode, and yes, Eli, I know we've been going hard in the paint these last few episodes. This one's going to be easy breezy. Get in, get out. Keep it short as possible. Oh, matter of fact, word to our
It's going to be our ASMR episode, so y'all can fall asleep.
Yeah, like playing golf, some shit like that. I don't know what the AI is talking about. We're gonna keep it going now. Now, first thing before we get into the podcast, we do some house cleaning. We're gonna house cleaning from what happened to the last episode.
What'd you do?
This what I did. I got roasted in the comics section on the last episode because I couldn't pronounce a word. And here's the word I couldn't pronounce. Right.
Okay.
So I couldn't pronounce that. So I got called a piece of shit because I can't pronounce this.
Well, I ain't gonna say it either then.
Right. I'm not even gonna say it anymore either. For people just listen to the audio, they'll be like, what the fuck? What did they say? What did they say?
Oh, is that though? Is that from when we were talking about anime or whatever?
That's when we were talking about anime. Okay, I'm gonna say it because I went back and watched it. It's I think I'm gonna screw it up again. Akatsuki tribe is what I'm supposed to say. But I said something else. I don't know what I said. It didn't matter what I said. I screwed it up, Anyway, moving on. We settled that. We're going to move on past that. So, next part of the podcast, I'm going to throw a curveball, Eli. I'm going to throw a curveball. Okay.
Oh, shit. We're getting canceled.
Box office numbers.
Oh, fuck. I don't know what county. Again, I don't know what came out. All I know is you posted Little Mermaid is on Disney. No, that's all I know.
We are not talking about Little Mermaid. Sorry, we're not. I saw it. We're not talking about it. I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it. I was going to talk about it if Jake was here. If Jake was here,
did you do it because a chick? Were you trying to impress a chick?
Not this time. Now, the first cartoon Little Mermaid, yes. This one, fuck no. I didn't give a damn. I just watched it out of curiosity because. Everybody okay, fuck. Now we're talking about Little Mermaid. Okay, I'll talk about Little Mermaid just for brief. Yes, let's hear some 40-year-old motherfuckers talk about Little Mermaid.
Let's talk about Little Mermaid. I'm gonna look up some porn on Twitter.
I'm not gonna go into detail about it. Like I said, all I can say is the Little Mermaid. I'm not gonna say it sucked, but it's not for me. That's all I'm gonna say. I've seen the first Mermaid, the one back in Disney whenever that shit came out. This one is a beat for beat remake of that one, so I can find myself kind of checking out when they were hitting familiar beats, like, okay, let's go.
There's only one way I would watch this movie.
What?
If she ate the guy.
She didn't eat the guy. No,
well,
I don't think so. Unless it's a deleted scene.
Well, then I'm saying I'll fuck the Little Mermaid then.
Damn. I will say this. There's only two things in this movie that made me halfway pay attention to it. One, the black chick that everybody was boycotting and shit like that, saying, yeah, we did it. She was by far, hands down, the best thing about this movie. She could sing her ass off. Like when she was singing, you were like, oh shit, she could really sing. Because I was like halfway asleep, not paying attention. She started singing. I'm waking up. Oh, okay, she's singing again. But remember the plot of Little Mermaid, halfway through the movie, she loses her voice.
I don't know. I've never seen the Little Mermaid. Even I haven't seen the little one. Remember, I haven't seen it.
The lore?
I do not know the lore. You know why? Because I'm a dude. I don't watch this shit.
Right. So that's the thing about it. So I'm just like, so the best thing about this movie ends about halfway through the movie. So like I said, and Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy through also too as the evil witch chick, octopus, whatever the fuck.
Melissa McCarthy? Like she's Bridesmaids?
Yeah, she's the bad guy in this movie. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's awesome in this movie. She's great. She's great. I'm gonna give her props. Wow. Everything else in the movie, dog shit. Did not give a fuck about anything else in this movie. But like I said, it wasn't made for me. If 10-year-old girls love this movie, fine for them. I just watched this movie like I know, Eli, I know you expected me to come here and rave about this shit like I did Tetris and all this other weird shit I be watching.
I didn't expect you to talk about Little Mermaid.
I wasn't trying to. I don't even know why the fuck we talk about Little Mermaid.
Why are we talking about Little Mermaid?
I don't know where that shit even come from. I don't know. I want to talk about some other shit. So
yeah, next thing we know, we're gonna end. You're gonna make us end up on a meme. These pieces of shit didn't like the Little Mermaid. These assholes.
Oh, shit. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the fucking Little Mermaid. This is what I want to talk about. Okay. Box office numbers, what we want to talk about. Okay. Now, The reason we talk about box office numbers because I don't want to talk about box office numbers. No one gives a shit about the box office. And here's one thing I learned about 2023, Eli. No one gives a shit about the box office. I know what you're saying, Eli. Duh. I'm glad you finally figured this out. McFly, I'm finally figuring this shit out. No one gives a fuck about it. Nobody gives a fuck until it comes to streaming and a streaming service, HBO, Disney Plus. Then all of a sudden you see reviews, and I've seen this, and blah blah. Flash is blah 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 this, and Shazam 2 is blah blah blah. Until then, no one gives a shit. So there's no reason for us to talk about the box office until I guess it comes on streaming. So just pretend like it's brand new there. That being said, Fast X will come on streaming on Peacock next week. So there you go. Yeah. Well, until then, no one gave a shit. And I think Mission Impossible comes out on streaming maybe the week after. I don't know. I will let everybody know. I will be on alert. Check my feeds. You will be. I'm alert
waiting for the. Well, I haven't. I want the Ninja Turtle DVD. I want to get the DVD though.
I mean, it's good. You talking about the new one, Mutant Mayhem?
The new one, yeah.
That'll be on streaming so fast. Don't worry about it.
It's on like Voodoo and shit. Like
no, we don't count that. We don't count that.
I want the physical copy.
We don't count that either. It's 2023. We're counting HBO, Paramount Plus, those stuff like that. That shit will be out there within the month. Within a month, Mutant Mayhem will be on Paramount Plus. I don't know when, but I'll let you know when it'll be there. I keep my ears to the streets. I will know. So, that being said, so since nobody gives a shit about movies anymore, let's talk about other shit. Let's talk about video games. Because I've been like slowly trying to turn this to a video game podcast under your nose, Eli, without you noticing. But now we're here. So yeah. So like I said, so the biggest release in Xbox, the newest Xbox generation has released this week. Now, will it be a bigger game than that later on in that? We will see. But right now, we're going to talk about Starfield. This is the biggest game. Now, I'm going to tell you how I got my hands on this game, how I played it, what I did. I'm going to upload some video footage, and we're going to do all this stuff. Now, getting down to the nitty-gritty of it. Now, first off, how did I get my hands on Starfield? Now, I got my hands on Starfield. I did not buy it. Technically, I didn't buy it. But I didn't bootleg it either. Don't go there. This game is actually free. Well, not free, but it's included in Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can play it. It's there.
Yeah, I've seen it. I could play it. I just didn't. Sorry.
You could. You didn't. I get it. I understand. You could. But I decided to play it because I hadn't played a video game in a while. And this is supposed to be like the newest big thing. Let me see what everybody else talking about. Like I said, this is the game that everybody's playing on Xbox right now. If you talk about it, like the people that are playing it. I could have played it either on PC or Xbox. I played it on the Xbox. The reason I played it on Xbox is because I didn't want to tax my PC. My PC is for this podcasting. That's what it's for. Video game shit is on the side. So when I saw all the heavy end, you got to have this type of graphics card and this type of blah, blah, blah stuff. I'm like, nope, fuck that. No, we're going to play it on Xbox. We're done with it. And Xbox was fine. Like that. Now, like I said, that being said, like I said, it is a space game. It's made by the same people who made Skyrim. If people don't know, the Xbox went nuts and bought like a bunch of people. They made like the biggest entertainment purchase. They bought Bethesda, which plays Skyrim and Starfield. They bought Call of Duty. They bought World of Warcraft. They bought Diablo. They bought like a whole bunch of other people. Like, so all those games Xbox owns. So this is why this is the biggest game they made, because it was like the first game made under that big purchase they made with Bethesda. So it's not on PlayStation. It's just there. Now I'm just going to name off some games that people are comparing it to. No Man's Sky. That's one of the games. They say the game, shit game at first, kind of better, but another space game. You fly around, do all kind of bullshit, stuff like that. Another game people compare it to, which it does not compare to, Mass Effect, which is not only one of the best space games of all time, one of the best video games of all time. Eli, this is top 5 for me. Mass Effect, the series, top 5. Okay. I'll play it. Another one that's on the radar that nobody else compared to, but I'm going to compare it to it. I'm going to just throw in a wild card. Guardians of the Galaxy. Everybody slept on this game. Honestly, this game was great. It was one of the best games of the year at that time. Best story. Eli, you know how you talk about Rebels is like your definitive Star Wars? This game is my definitive Guardians. So, and I read the DNA comic run. Like when the shit came out, I read all this shit. Loved it. This is the quintessential Guardians right here if you want to play that. Space shit, space battles, all that shit is right there. So, like I said, just the characteristics of them. It's all there, plus everything else. So what do I think of Starfield? Kind of boring. I'll be honest with you. I know it's supposed to be the greatest game of all time. We're supposed to bow down. I know people that played Skyrim and
how long did you play it for?
Okay, that is a good question. I played it 4 hours. I know. See, I'm sorry. I have a life. I have a job. Man, I'm sorry. Look, I work.
They don't get fun for 2 weeks, man.
Somebody else said that, like, you have to put 20 hours into this game before it starts getting fun. But when you put the 20 hours in, then you're there. It's there. But I'm sorry, Eli, I work 50 hours this week. I didn't have time because I was going to take a day to just play Starfield and just dive into it, put 8 hours streaming, all shit like that. Sorry, I had shit to do. So I can't not call. I wanted to call in sick, but I can't do that because I got to say that, when NBA 2K come out. So I can't. I gotta pan out my days. I just can't just do it, But I will say this: the game is pretty, in a like bland, flavorless type of way, but it is pretty. It has good art direction. They say you can make your own spaceships like towards the end of the game, like you customize all the stuff like that, but it's okay. It's got like these massive giant worlds and stuff like that. The moon is on the whole solar system is in the game. Earth, Jupiter, and you can go there. Earth is fucked up. I don't know why Earth is fucked up. It just is. I did go to the moon, and I did have fun going to the moon because I got a chance to do this. I got the Hulk jump because the Earth got the moon got fucked up gravity, so you just Hulk jump through there. So, but that's me finding fun in the game instead of because this was not a mission. This was just me. Oh, the moon's over here. Let me go to the moon because I was gonna try to take a picture of myself on the moon, next to it, but I couldn't do that. So that's me finding fun in the game. But as far as like the other stuff that's going on in the game, like what do we got? The graphics are okay, but like I said, the facial recognition had that uncanny valley feel to it where you don't look real but kind of look real. Some of them look okay, some of them don't look okay. The shooting mechanics, complete ass. I was like, how do you have fun with this? But like I say, you can do so much shit in the game, but it ain't really fun to do. There's even got space battles in here. The space battles also ass. But here's the thing about the space battles. One thing I do like is that you kind of like you have to like in Star Trek, you like man the engines, man the thrusters, man the shields like that. You have to actually put points into your shields or your thrusters or your cannons and your missiles, stuff like that.
Sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's kind of fun because it reminds me of Star Trek. Like, you remember when Captain Kirk always said this shit, divert powers to shields, all powers to shields, like that. So
yeah, it's cool to watch that shit, but to have to fucking push a button.
You gotta push a button. You gotta allocate your points and all this shit like that. Okay, so in theory, it's fun. It's not like a game that should be fun, but when all put together, it just isn't fun.
It's the command for taking a shit. What's the command for scratching your balls?
You're right. So to like, it's cool. It's a lot of shit in the game, but it's not intuitive. It's not really fun. It's kind of there. I wish it was more fun. I feel like it's fun to be had, but it's not there. Like that instant gratification when I got from Mass Effect. Mass Effect was there. Guardians of the Galaxy was there. What's the game I played not too long ago? Whatever game. It was a game I played not too long ago that I did stream and I had fun when I played it. Like Spider-Man, the fun was
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. It was like, this shit is fun. This shit is fun to play. It wasn't like I had to I had to play 20 hours of Miles Morales before it got fun. No, I was in there. I was ready to go. This was just like, but I say that, but I can see how people can have fun with this game. So I'm not going to completely bash it, but I don't know. And I might even have fun if I get further into it. Like I said, I don't spend 4 hours to do it. I know 4 hours for a game like this is nothing. Because people spend way more time on a game like that. People put thousands of hours into it. People are still playing Skyrim to this day. And this is Skyrim in space. So, but there's enough controversy that came out with this game also. This is more popular. This is got the game more notoriety than anything else. I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to see if you can spot it. This. I'm gonna see how long it take you to figure
Beast
out.
Hunter, is that your name?
No, my name is Player. I was so bored I didn't even want to make a name.
You should have not Player.
Not Player. But can you see it? Can you see where the outrage is? You can't see it? I'm
That
about to
he's a
spoil it for
black guy? I don't know.
You mean a black guy? No, not that. Okay. Look what the Y button is and what that
The
controls.
Y button is
The Y button.
I gotta. I can't see. I gotta.
Okay, never mind.
Let me
Okay.
go to full screen. Let me go to
Okay.
full screen. Okay.
Okay.
Name, character, pronoun, Excel, or cancel, confirm, they, the. Oh shit.
Oh
Okay. I see.
Uh-huh. I
So
want to see how long it take you to figure it
oh,
out. So
the pronouns.
there's
People
a button for a pronoun, right?
Yeah, so that hurt everybody's pussy out there.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Everybody flipped the fuck out. Everybody went crazy.
Everybody's bitching out and growing tits all of a sudden.
Yeah, thousands of YouTube videos. They put pronouns in my game and shit like that, stuff like that. So everybody's pissed right now. Here's the thing: if it weren't for those dudes doing outrage shit like that, I honestly wouldn't even notice it, because that's the only time you notice it is right there. Like, okay, you picking your character, you picking your gender, pick whether or not you're a he, she, or they, or whatever. And I was like, whatever. But when I saw them freaking the fuck out, I'm like, what are they freaking out about? I'm like, oh, okay. But here's the thing. The people that are freaking out about it are only freaking out about it because it's a performance. They're YouTubers, they're grifters. They're just doing this shit because they're trying to get mean. They're trying to get memed. They're doing it for clickbait. That's all the reason they're doing this shit for us. And they wanted to see who would catch on to it. The same reason why Ben Shapiro, grilled Barbie dolls. He doesn't give a shit that much, but he knows they're going to get a meme. And because this is their way of living, they get paid off the shit, Eli. We don't. Oh, yeah. So, of course, they're going to do everything they can to cause outrage, because they know there are a bunch of insecure man babies that are upset over this shit, over the pronoun game, that they decided to put that in the game. But it's really not a big deal. Y'all just need to let this shit go. Don't get. I mean, that's why I'm not even going to say the names of the people that's doing it. We know who's doing it, but we're not going to say the name because we're not going to give them free publicity and free advertisement. But don't get outraged just because these guys are performing outrage, for whatever. So I think I said all I need to say about this game. This game is boring. I played it to play it. I did stream it. Nobody came to my stream. I think maybe Fat T came to my stream just to say hey and then left. I think that's about it. But yeah, because other people like me, why don't you advertise stream? Because ain't nobody watching.
Oh, you're on the taking a shit level? Oh, fuck this.
I was bored playing this shit.
I'll come back next week.
Yeah, I'm in this stream yawning and shit. Just like, oh, we're going to the next shit. So yeah. So that's Starfield.
If anybody doing the dishes stage yet?
There is a kitchen on the ship, but we're not gonna get there. So, but if anybody else having fun with the game, God bless you, more power to it. I may come around to it when I put 10 more hours into it, but as for right now, 4 hours in, this ain't the game. I'm sorry, this isn't. So
yeah, I mean, I've heard great things about a bunch of these type of games. I know they got like Fallout. I remember playing one of the Fallout games for like a few days, and all I was doing was like collecting garbage. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then finally, oh, cool, a giant bug I get to shoot, and like the fucking control, like can I just shoot that? Why do the shooting controls suck?
Oh, because he poisoned you or some shit. Yeah,
I'm an expert garbage collector. Yeah, but I can't shoot a fucking giant bug. Like, what the fuck, really?
Couldn't do it, man. Yeah. So that's
I
don't know.
Yeah, I just, like I said before, I just don't have the time for that shit. I don't have the patience anymore for that shit.
And the thing is, because it's an Xbox exclusive, I think people are going to hype this up more than anything else. If this was on both systems, I don't think this game would get talked about nearly as much, since it's the only thing Xbox people can have their hands on. They're just like, oh, I got to play it. Because here's the thing, I don't touch my Xbox. I bought it just to buy it. So that's why I decided to stream it on the Xbox. Like, give me something on the Xbox to play. And this was it. And I was like, okay, that's it. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just play Ninja Turtles again. I'll just play
play play the fuck out of Ninja Turtle, play the fuck out of Streets of Rage, all the shit like that. Save your money for Starfield. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, move on to the next part of the podcast.
Sure.
Okay. It is on you, Eli, because now we're gonna talk about your show.
Is it my show?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we're doing Ahsoka. Really?
What you thought we were talking about?
I thought we were going to Thanksgiving.
I
was getting my Thanksgiving graphic. We're talking about Ahsoka. All right. Sure. Ahsoka came on, and fucking Anakin's bitch ass showed up, and I was like, oh, this fucking guy again.
You're the only person that doesn't cheer for Anakin when he shows up.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Everybody else gave
Saberhose back.
Right. Everybody else gave a standing ovation.
Oh shit! Here comes Anakin. crying again. No. Now I was like now when she went to the world between worlds. Now that's a thing. Yes, world.
So
the
that
world
is a
between
thing.
worlds.
Okay.
It's like the spirit world. It was introduced in the Clone Wars. It was Ezra made it in there during Rebels. I'm spoiling Rebels because obviously y'all don't give a shit. So on Rebels, Ezra was able to pull Ahsoka out of a moment in time when she was fighting Vader. And so this
So Star Wars does have time travel.
Theoretically, they have the potential for it. And I've talked about this before. That Star Wars has never done time travel, but this concept introduces that idea. But the thing is when you theoretically, in theory, yes, you can time travel and change time and change history, but you're not supposed to. So Ezra was able to pull Ahsoka out of a moment of time, but he put her right back. Okay. And then Ezra almost saved somebody else's. I'm not going to spoil that, but Ezra was tempted to save somebody else's life. And Ahsoka talked him out of like, no, if you do that, you're going to change history. That means that's going to change the outcome of the war. You're not going to do a bunch of shit if this doesn't happen. You can't save them, So Ezra had to make that choice. So yes, you can time travel. I guess they have introduced that, but it's frowned upon.
They haven't done it
yet.
Somebody's going to do it.
Somebody's going to do it, I guess, and that's where I'm like, okay, here we go. But yes, so Ahsoka went to the world between worlds, and I was hoping Ezra's going to show up, but no, it was Anakin, and I was like, Anakin, oh shit.
They got to find a way to put him in here, so
I guess, and I have to remember that. I don't like movie Anakin, but I love Anakin like in the Clone Wars. Clone Wars Anakin on the show, the animated show, is awesome. He's dope. He's badass. He ain't a pussy. He's a fucking just murks motherfuckers. Dope. Movie Anakin, I'm not a master. All that shit. Yeah, I couldn't stand him. So I gotta separate that. Okay, it is movie Anakin, but maybe he's not gonna be a whiny emo crybaby sissy boy. I know I'm getting canceled by saying yeah, Ahsoka. What else?
Ahsoka. There we go.
And Sabine. I was watching This Geeks and Comics with Ryan and Gomer. Yeah, Gomer and
Ryan and Gomer. Okay.
Taylor and who else was on? Andy and them. They were talking about Ahsoka, and the conversation of Sabine came up. And Sabine in this episode, it seems like she's doing the same thing Ezra did in Rebels, where she is sort of helping out the bad guys. Ezra.
Well, they kind of dangling that carrot in front of her,
Yeah, Ezra did the same thing on Rebels. Ezra hooked up with Darth Maul for a while, and was hoping to use the dark side for good.
But that never ends well.
That went down a dark path, a journey he had to take, and he had to realize, that he had to make his own realizations. So I think that's what they're setting up. Sabine is doing the same thing. She's trying to, help the bad guys for good reasons, but we're gonna find, she's got to realize the consequences of her actions. I think that's the point of Star Wars, that people can make mistakes and fuck up, but also be redeemed. It's all about redemption and making up for those mistakes, So I that's pretty much the point of a lot of the characters, in Star Wars. You can fuck up, but you can, redeem yourself. Because that's basically the story of Vader, the redemption of Vader. Vader does be redeemed in the end. After all the fucked up shit he did, he does sacrifice his own life for his son and saves the universe, so to speak. So I understand what George Lucas is doing. It's like stanzas; they rhyme. He's kind of touching on same plot points and stuff like that. So, I find it a little predictable, but I understand why, why they're doing that. And I understand why Anakin shows up. You know, I get it. She's got to face. So I always forget that Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan. You know, that was a big part of her life. You know, and that's so I get that they would have that. So even though I was disappointed that it was Anakin, I understand why it was him. You know, instead of just shit I want to say. So, but I thought it was. I was like, it's okay. This episode was just kind of filler for me again. You know, had a cool lightsaber duel.
Two cool simulators. Yeah, there was a bunch of them. Everybody was fighting.
Oh, and then the Inquisitor turned out to be nobody.
Oh yeah, everybody was upset about that. Yeah,
he just disappeared.
He turned into smoke like that dude from Hellboy. That was it. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. So yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 this episode. I thought it was okay. You know,
so what have you heard? What have you heard about episode 5 being in the theaters?
I heard about that.
Yeah, but it's just like in select places. It was like, come on, man. Other people want to see the shit too. This is like in Chicago, LA, like the normal places. But it's not like you can just buy a ticket and just go.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, wasn't the Inhumans in the theaters too? Like, does that matter anymore?
It was, but yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, shit we want to see, you know.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's got a big giant space battle or something, like, you know, if it's just gonna be Anakin and Ahsoka. Like,
well, not necessarily. Sometimes you
want to hug each other and start crying for a half hour. I don't need to see that in the theater.
You know? I'm just saying you're gonna be in a theater. Of course, other Star Wars fans are gonna buy a ticket, so you're gonna be in a theater with other Star Wars fans.
I guess, yeah. No, I guess that would be cool, you know.
Yeah,
but you know,
I mean, you can't be in a theater with other Inhumans fans. I mean, shit. I mean,
were there Inhumans fans that showed up?
Not that I know of. I may be the biggest one you know, and I don't even give a fuck about them. So yeah,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that would be kind of. I'm sure I wouldn't watch it in the theater, but you know,
yeah.
I mean, hopefully something cool happens. I mean, we're at the midway point of the.
So I guess this is 10 episodes. I guess it's 10 episodes.
It's 10 episodes. Oh, I thought it was 8.
Well, they said the episode 5 is the midway episode, so I would imagine.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, whatever. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought this episode was okay. It's starting to get formalic. For me, it's getting formalic, a little predictable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not. It's like it's nothing I haven't seen before, and it's nothing. It's not bringing anything new to the table. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not being wowed by it, but it is straight up Star Wars stuff. I understand what they're doing. I understand why they're doing it. I understand why the story is unfolding the way it is. So. On that note, yes, I get it, you know, but I wasn't particularly moved by anything by this episode. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's fine. Let's talk about something you want to talk about. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about Thanksgiving. Oh,
okay.
Did I screw it up? Oh, I screwed that up bad. Hold on. Go ahead and talk. I'll go ahead and set you up while I'm sitting up. But yeah. Okay. So what is this we're talking about? I have no idea what this is. Yeah.
The trailer dropped for Eli Roth's horror movie, horror movie.
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Okay, so I didn't even know who did it. Okay.
Yeah. So now have you seen Grindhouse?
No.
With Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, they had that double feature.
Oh, I know the movie. No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you never seen it? Oh.
Nope.
Oh, well, anyways, in that movie, there was a bunch of fake movie trailers made.
Like
Robert Rodriguez did Machete. Machete was in there. He ended up doing a full-length feature. What the hell is his name? The guy who did Shaun of the Dead. I'm forgetting his name. He did Scott Pilgrim. What's that guy's name again?
Edgar Wright?
Edgar Wright, yeah. He did a haunted house trailer for Don't. Rob Zombie did Werewolf Women.
And all this was in Grindhouse.
It's all in, fake movie trailers were made by all these directors. And Eli Roth made a fake movie trailer for a slasher movie called Thanksgiving, and it was hilarious. You know, one of the best parts of that whole Grindhouse, you know, thing, that the two movies, you know. Mm-hmm. So eventually he always said he'd like to do a full-length feature, and he finally did it. So it's going to be released this Thanksgiving, this fall. So the trailer kind of looks the same as the other one. We're just seeing newer actors in this. You They're kind of expanding on the lore, even though it's not. It was just a fake trailer. But no, it looks like it's a nod to old school 80s trashy slasher movies. And when we saw that from the trailer for Thanksgiving in Grindhouse looked like just a crappy, low budget horror slasher flick from the early 80s. You know, everything from the holiday theme, you know, Halloween, you know, Michael Myers, that sort of kicked off the slasher movie trend of having a horror movie on a holiday. You know, we've had Silent Night, Deadly Night. We've had New Year's Evil, you know, countless, you know, Black Christmas.
Valentine's Day. And,
yeah, countless April Fool's Day, countless like Christmas themed horror flicks. And then he's like, oh, do one for Thanksgiving. So that's what he did. It's hilarious. You know, the trailer is great. I'm hoping this movie will be cool too. Eli Roth can kind of be hit or miss for me. You know, some of his movies I like, some of them not so much. You know, I thought Cabin Fever was cool. Hostile was just all right. I hated Green Inferno. Yeah, maybe he's got more misses than hits for me. I don't know, but I'm hoping this is cool. He seems to understand what, you know, if it's anything like the trailer, like his fake trailer, that he understands, you know, the slasher genre that well, you know, then I'm hoping this will be fun. Because yeah, it just looks like a really bad, trashy slasher flick, which right up my alley. So yeah, I thought it looks pretty cool. So
cool. Okay. And you saying it comes out on Thanksgiving, so that's
yeah, it comes out in November, so around the holidays. So
nice. Okay. All right. So now we're still in the video game section. Like I said, we never left. Now we're talking about something both of us want to talk about.
Okay.
Okay. So give me some backdrop on whatever this is. You told me. I didn't dig into it. I just want to hear what you were going to say about it.
Oh, is this the Street Fighter shit?
Yeah.
Okay. So Demetrious Johnson.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, so Demetrious Johnson, he's one of my favorite MMA fighters.
Okay.
You know, he was like UFC champion for a long time. I thought he was one of the best fighters ever. And he had low pay-per-view numbers because casual fans don't know shit.
Mm-hmm.
Blowing their money on Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey and shit, and had no idea how great Demetrious Johnson was. Anyways, I guess he's a big gamer. So he challenged Kenny Omega and Austin Creed to a Street Fighter tournament. Now, Kenny Omega is a pro wrestler, and so is Austin Creed. Austin Creed was on he was on G4 for a while. He had his own little.
Was he part of New Day? I don't.
Yeah, he was the New Day.
And he was that guy. Okay, all right.
Yeah, then Kenny Omega was part of the Elite. Now he's, you know, with AEW right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought that was funny how Demetrious Johnson sort of on Twitter challenged them, and then they all just started talking shit to each other. And it was funny because they're pro wrestlers. They're talking shit, and it's going back and forth. And I just thought it was kind of funny.
Xavier Woods, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, part of the New Day or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I had to figure out who that was. Okay. So yeah. Okay. I'm glad you broke that down to me. Like I said, you sent that tweet to me. I don't know who this guy is, what the hell he's talking about. That's just like that. So my expertise about what's going on like this, like I said, I don't know who the DJ guy is.
That's Demetrious Johnson. Yeah.
That's Demetrious Johnson. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do know who Kenny Omega is. But here's the thing. I don't know Kenny Omega from any other shit you've said. I don't know if he's an MMA fighter or a wrestler, whatever like that. You just told me he's a wrestler, but I didn't know that. I only know him from Street Fighter.
Okay.
Like that's how good he is. Like I'm gonna give you an example. So when the first time he ever popped up on screen was this and Excellent Vidja. It was like an old Street Fighter YouTube show from like about 8 years ago. I don't know what it was like that. He came on the show. Nobody knew who he was. He was just some big dude. Because, you know, like usually guys that go on the Street Fighter show play Street Fighter, scrawny ass motherfuckers or fat ass motherfuckers, you know, some people like that. So when this big swole motherfucker came on the show, like, the fuck? Okay. But he came on there whooping that like he knew shit. He was doing shit. He was like impressed with like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, So, but he, you know, he was raw. You know, he had some learning to do, but he's been with these guys training, like the top guys that run Street Fighters. Like he's been training with these guys. So now years later, he was in Evil and shit, like running with those guys like that. So Kenny Omega, as far as just on the Street Fighter level, he's on that level. Like he's really that good. So I don't know how good this Demetrious guy is on Street Fighter, but he kind of has to be crazy if he's going to beat Kenny Omega. Now let's talk about
and Kenny Omega like was in New Japan Pro Wrestling for a while, so he could speak fluent Japanese, and I guess he just loves like gaming
the culture, anime,
like,
manga, all this shit like that. So
well, Omega, like his name comes from, was it Omega Man or whatever? Like a play on Mega Man X, and Omega from I think a Final Fantasy character. But one of his finishing moves is the V trigger. So
the V trigger, that's from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay,
that's his
I didn't know that. Yeah,
in the ring, and one of his wrestling moves is the V trigger. You know.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know, because I didn't really know who Kenny Omega was until I heard like Griselda rapping about him and shit, and then I started watching AEW when it first came on. You know, and I kind of like watched on and off, but that's when that's okay. This is that guy. You know, and of course Daniel Warren Johnson, who draws those comics, he's a big wrestling fan, and I follow him on Instagram, and he'd draw all these wrestlers, and he drew a bunch of Kenny Omega pictures and shit. So I didn't know he was a big gamer until you told me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the only thing I know him from. I don't know him from anything else. Like when he just show up on Street Fighter tournaments, it's like that. That's what I know him from. Now Xavier Woods also tried to jump in, you know, the Street Fighter world and all this shit like that. Sucks ass. Just saying. Got his ass beat. Nobody gives a shit about it, but he likes to promote himself. So he's cool people, and he's like that wrestler energy that he has. So we like him. But as far as on the sticks, he's trash. Sorry, he's garbage. And this thing,
okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like a lot of celebrities try to jump into the gaming world because they know they can get more fans that way. Like we had Lupe Fiasco jump in Street Fighter. He sucks. I don't give a damn who he beat. They rigged that shit. Sorry. Like I love his music. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time. I'm just saying on Street Fighter, he sucks. I'm just saying. You got people. It's a whole bunch of other celebrities try to jump into it, but Shaq tried to run his own like E-League or some shit like that. He tried to do that.
Yeah.
But we know Shaq can't play video games, but he tried to hire other people to do it. But like I said, they're fun personalities, so they bring, you know, light to the stuff going on like that. But only one that has jumped into it that actually is worth a damn, Kenny Omega, and he is really that good. So I don't like this guy. He might need to look at some footage on Kenny Omega before he go at him. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Unless he's on that level too. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen any footage of Demetrious Johnson fight on Street Fighter, but I did there on Xavier Woods' like YouTube channel, his video game channel. There's a challenge where him and Kenny Omega are playing.
You're right.
And the loser had to eat like peppers. And it's funny. It was like really close. It did actually come down to the last, like it was like the best out of 5, and it came down to the last round. Like they were tied up the whole time. Of course, Kenny Omega was using a new character he had never played before. So
right, I think he was handicapping himself. That's the thing. It was like a character. Matter of fact, I think it was Cody. I think I saw that when it was Cody. And I think he even dressed up as Cody, kind of like to promote the character, like
okay, I think it was
to hire him, yeah. So, but they handicapped. So he was like, I'm gonna play a character I never played before, don't know, to kind of make it even. And that's exactly what happened. So I did see that,
And they were talking mad shit because they're pro wrestlers, so they just talk. It's funny. Yeah, it was funny.
And that's the thing. Like I said, like even regardless of how Xavier Woods is on Street Fighter, he has that presence, that energy. So he got the crowd hyped when he was talking. So I've never seen him wrestle before, but I could see how he could be successful doing what he's doing just from watching him in Street Fighter. So so because they was bringing that wrestler energy to it. So
I just saw that pop up on my feed, and I thought, oh, Demetrious Johnson. He's one of nicknamed Mighty Mouse because he's small. He was fighting like 125, so he's like a really small guy, but he was knocking people out. He was fast. He's one of the best MMA fighters of all time. And I didn't know he was a gamer.
None of that was saving the Street Fighter.
So when I saw that he's talking shit to Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods, I thought, oh, I'll see what Leroy thinks of this. Maybe he knows about this. So that's why I sent it to you.
Okay, like that is going to be a hype match. If that match ever goes down, it will be a hype match. It will be a match that it'll be all over my Twitter feed. Like, oh, watch this shit, you know. So I'll report it. I might even live stream it myself. Might live stream it on here. I'm gonna break down the match and see what.
because Demetrious Johnson was talking trash to Kenny Omega, like, yeah, you're trash, you can't play, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
you know, and ragging on his controllers and all this shit. Kenny Omega's like, oh, you can talk about my wrestling ability all you want, but don't ever question my street fighting skills. Street fighter skills.
Oh man, so that's all we got. I'm gonna keep my ear to the streets on that one, see when it happens or if it pops off, when it happens from there, and we'll go on. Because I'm pretty sure if that is gonna go down, some other like Street Fighter promoters are gonna get their hands in it also and kind of make it a big thing, make money off of it. So yeah, it'll happen. So all right, let me say we can move on to the next part of the podcast.
Yep.
Okay, like I said, we're here. This is Comic Book Bullies. Like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies. We talk about comics. And we're just gonna jump into it. Eli, I'm gonna let you go first because we're even this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
because normally, and I'm pretty sure you did it this time also. Not only would you read your books, you read my books also. Like I can tell you more about your shit.
Wait a second. Are you doing Ghost Rider or am I doing Ghost Rider?
I didn't read Ghost Rider. Yes, that's you. So.
Oh, really? You didn't read Ghost Rider and Wolverine?
I had other shit. I had a full plate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fall of X drop. I had to read all this shit.
Okay, well, this is the finale of the Wolverine Ghost Rider team up. The Weapons of Vengeance.
Weapons of Vengeance.
So, some kid was going around killing mutants who was possessed by a demon. Ghost Rider and Wolverine teamed up to go find him, which led them to the Weapons Plus facility where they found out that Professor Pike or whatever, or Minister Pike, there's some warlock scientist that's basically taking demons and sticking them into mutants. So they get captured, and he captures Wolverine and puts the kid's demon. What was that kid's name again? I forget that kid's name. Anyway, Bram. Yeah, Bram.
Yeah.
He puts that kid's demon into Wolverine and then lets Wolverine loose. So the book starts out where some mutants, because this is the whole Fall of X thing. It ties into that whole Fall of X shit where mutants are like being discriminated against and they're being banned from the United States. They're hiding out and laying low. Well, there's this a crew of mutants are doing some sort of like vandalism or terracell shit, blowing up houses and shit. Wolverine shows up and takes him out. But Talia Warroad, the ex-FBI agent with the psychic powers, goth chick who was working with Johnny Blaze, she shows up with the Wolverine's homie, his CIA homie, and they raid the lab, free Johnny Blaze, and then start kicking ass. Everyone starts kicking ass. Wolverine is able to resist the mind probe or whatever, because he's got that Weapon X helmet on, so he's being controlled.
Professor X trained them to resist mind control.
Yeah, so he's able to resist, so he takes control back. But that demon is still inside of him, so that means Ghost Rider has to fight him. So they fight. Ghost Rider fights him. And they have he ends up taking him out, destroying the demon. But we also get we got like a flashback of where this demon came from. So Mephisto created this demon so he could because he was bored or whatever. Okay. And so what this demon does is it makes fucked up art. So that's what he does. He kills people and then turns their sculptures into these fucked up sculptures to amuse Mephisto. So that's why that kid was killing all these people and then putting their bodies into these weird, these weird sculptures and shit. Yeah. So yeah, that's what he was. So we get that bit of a flashback. But in the end, Wolverine like basically sucks out the Ghost Rider sucks out the demon, but then is able to like kill. What is it exactly? What happens before the demon goes back into the kid? He kills the minister guy,
Minister Pike. Okay.
and then Wolverine kills the minister guy because he was trying to suck the demon back into himself, and then Ghost Rider does the penance stare on the demon, which then
was the demon inside anybody? Or the demon was just
the demon was just floating around. So basically, Ghost Rider just blew his hellfire at him, and then turned that demon into like a big rock sculpture, weird thing. And then they all kind of live happy ever after. They all like, okay, later, guys. Nice working with you, all that shit. But then at the end, it shows an eye opening on the sculpture or whatever. Like the presence is still there, to be continued. ? But no, this was a lot of fun. This was just an easy breezy crossover event. Wolverine and Ghost Rider teaming up to fight demons and shit. It was just stupid fun that I had a blast. Had some fucked up horror shit too. That kid killing all those people and shit, turn them into Hellraiser sculpture.
Yeah, unsettling.
Yeah, there was some gnarly shit in this book that so I thought this was cool. This was 4 out of 5. This was the finale. Now back to your regularly scheduled program with your Fall of X stuff. So
mutants and like they just show up everywhere. Iron Man, like why the fuck the X-Men showed up I don't know. Fucking all right. So first book I'm going to do is which one am I gonna do? I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna do that one. Okay. I'm gonna do the Batman one. The fall of
I did read this.
The Fall of Bats. What is this? Gotham War?
The Gotham War or whatever?
Yeah, that's it. The Gotham War. Okay,
Catwoman, Cat versus Bat or whatever.
Bat versus Cat. Yeah, the battle to end all battles because eat the rich, all this shit like that. So, like I said, if you didn't read the last issue, we broke it down. Batman and Catwoman have this war basically going on. Catwoman is basically training all the Gotham hoodlums and goons to become cat burglars. So they become cat burglars, then the regular like Joker and Penguin, all the guys like that, they can't recruit them to, fight their own thing, which ends crime. Meanwhile, Batman is like it that Catwoman is training them to just direct crime into a different direction. So now Batman is waging war on Catwoman, who is trying to stop crime. And he's trying to no, the way I do it is better than the way you do it. So yeah, that's going on right now. All right, let's get to it. No, you ready, Eli? So let's get to it. So what do we got here? First off, we got these the cat burglars, these two people that Catwoman trained. They basically did some shit to pretend like that they are maintenance people, but they're really just going in and robbing the place. So as soon as they go in there, Batman's just like, okay, y'all get the hell out of here before I beat the shit out of you. And Batman beats the shit out of her. Now keep in mind, one of these criminals is a woman. Batman does not care.
Yeah, Batman's a total asshole in this book.
Yeah, he like the hammers of justice are unisex or some shit, But he does this whole thing like nobody dies, but you will feel pain. And he says that to the woman. Like, what the? I don't even know what he did.
Equal rights. Equal right.
That's what y'all fought for. This is what y'all fought for. Batman is equal opportunity ass whooping. So yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
Put that on a shirt. So basically, yes, Batman has been whooping ass for the last 2 days. He's been just going after anybody that has graduated from Catwoman's School of Crime that's been hijacking and doing heist shit like that. He's been beating the shit out of everybody. They said one of them even had fear gas and they shot at Batman, and Batman just laughed at him. Like no mask, no, just went at him just to give a fuck. So basically the only thing we can do now, we got to go to plan B. We got to call on Batman's greatest mistake. Put Jason on him. I'm like, damn, why you got to call Jason his greatest mistake? So that's what's going on. So Batman still beating the shit out of people. And then that's when you got Robin, Tim Drake shows up and like, Batman, I don't think you're going a little bit too hard. You've been fighting all these other bad guys. You've been through the multiverse and fighting Cosby and shit like that. Do you think maybe you should just take a break? And Batman like, oh, what, you here to stop me, Tim? Or you just go sit on the sidelines like everybody else in the Bat family, just wait to see how this plays out? And then he just tells him, he was like, look, I called the police to come arrest this guy. And if I find out that he got loose before the police get here, Tim, I'll arrest you myself. And he was like, okay, yeah, he's really going off the deep end. Now, like I said, for people don't know, in the last issue, it's kind of Zur-En-Arrh, Batman's like psychotic personality trying to break through, but not fully breaking through yet. So yeah, that's going on right now. So you got the whole Bat family just having a conversation like, okay, Bruce is kind of going out of control, but we kind of see what Catwoman's doing. So we're trying to stay out of it, but we don't want to get into it. And that's the thing what's going on right now. And Jason's just like, well, let me talk to him. And everybody like, no, Jason, whatever you do not go near Batman. Do not engage Batman. He's already like on the edge right now also. And just seeing you will drive him over the edge. So Batgirl, well, Oracle or Barbara, whatever you want to call her, she basically saying, look, he never turned off his transponders on his suit. So I can track him wherever he goes. I can give you guys a head up to let you know where he's going to be. And Dick, just have a conversation with him. Just kind of just talk him down. And you're like, okay, Dick's like, okay, I'll do that. But Jason, please don't get anywhere near him. Because we're going to be like, okay, cool, I won't. Meanwhile, he's literally talking to Catwoman's number one goon right now while they're planning out what they're going to do. Batwoman, Barbara doesn't know she's feeding Catwoman his information. While it's going on, we got a meeting with Professor Pig and the Mad Hatter, and they're basically having their own private meeting with the other, crime boss of Gotham. Now, let's see who we got here. I'm trying to see. Let me see. We got Black Mask, Scarecrow, who had a glow up, Mr. Zsasz, Two-Face, Firefly, and the ventriloquist, who hadn't seen in a minute. Well, I won't say that. He was in Tom King's run. So he popped up recently. So yeah, so they're having their meeting. And basically, Red Hood is in like their hideout, like Catwoman's hideout, but Catwoman can't be there right now because she's breaking out her own people. All the people that Batman arrested, she's breaking them out. So she's just telling Jason, be on the lookout for him just in case he shows up. If he does, let me know. And while they're doing that, that's when they get a bat flying through the window, like, oh, he's here. Let's go, old man. Let's see what you're doing. But it's not Batman. It's a bat drone. He was prepared for them. They were like, oh shit, we're fucked. That's right, because that's when Batman breaks through the brick wall. He's just like, okay, everybody, if you leave, you better go back to your old life. But if you stay, let's go. And some of them leave, some of them take off, and the rest of them, Batman just kicked the shit out of them. He was like, okay, so they've been training of the Catwoman. They've been what they normally are, but they're not me. Meanwhile, Batman just breaking teeth and breaking bones and beating the shit out of people. And that's when Jason just runs at him. He was like, Jason, I was wondering where you were. And he was like, let's go, old man. He was like, oh, you want to do this again, Jason? Let's go. So they're doing it again. And meanwhile, everybody, Catwoman and the Bat family are telling Jason, do not go against Batman because all you go to just piss him off. Meanwhile, Jason's like, no, I want him. I want to go. He like, you fucking 10-year-old. You haven't grown up since your parents got killed. You just have a mind of a 10-year-old because that's how your brain works. He's like, well, if you think one life is above others, then why don't I kill you instead? And that's when Tim jumps out of nowhere, grabs Batman. Batman kicks him off, and he turns around, and that's when we got the Bat family. And the Bat family is like, Bruce, back up, get off of him. But he's already thinking like while they're talking, he's already prepping in his mind. He's like, I already know Cat's gonna move first. She's the most dangerous. Take her out first. Duke's got superpowers. Take him out next. Spoiler, she sucks. Take her out next. So he's just taking them out one by one, because he trained half of them. He know how they fight, And then that's when Nightwing jumps in.
Batman actually said that. Yeah, spoiler sucks.
Right. He probably did. That's what he said in my mind. But yeah. So you got Night, and then Nightwing go there. He doesn't know that Batman has a robot hand, and he shoots like smoke or fear toxin at him and shit like that. So now he's fighting Jason, and so it's Batman versus Nightwing and Red Hood going at each other. He's thinking, okay, I got him. I can take them both out. I trained both of them. Meanwhile, no, they're kicking his ass. So I'm glad this happened because there is no way in hell Batman takes both Nightwing and Red Hood at the same time. Matter of fact, I'm still on the boat that Nightwing can take him, like in a one-on-one fight, So Red Hood and Nightwing just kick the shit out of me, like, oh shit, okay, they got me. And that's when Jason is just like, okay, old man, we got you. And right before he lays the finishing blow, bam, Damien pops out of nowhere
This
and he
fucking dick.
hit him with a
See, yeah,
brass knuckles.
every time everyone rags on Batman, and but this is why I hate Damien.
That's why I love Damien. Damien rides, he rides for his father. You're not gonna beat my daddy up, man. Fuck y'all.
Damien's this fucking dick. Son of the dick.
He hits Jason with brass knuckles, knocks his ass out, calls the Batmobile, and gets Batman out of there. So, and the Bat family is like, okay, yeah, we really got a problem on our hand. So while they're doing what they're doing, and they find a guy chained up in the basement. The guy that owns the house, Jason, like tied him up. We don't know who it is, but I guess it really don't matter who it is. And Skip, Catwoman frees the people. We don't care. Going back to Batman. So they're basically contemplating on what they went through, and Damien's looking at his hand. He's like, I want one. Like, no, you don't want a robot hand, Damien. And then they get a knock on the door. They're like, oh shit, is it them? Let's get ready. But it's not them, it's a lawyer. And the lawyer is telling him, Mr. Wayne, I've been trying to catch up with you for the last 2 months. I can't get a hold of you. He's like, yeah, cocaine, hookers, you know how it is, man. I've been busy doing shit. He was like, well, you should have been paying attention because your manor, Wayne Manor, which you put up for for collateral to buy this brownstone, somebody bought it. And we've been trying to tell you that, but you ain't been paying attention because you've been knee deep in cocaine and hookers. So whatever. He's like, oh shit, somebody bought my house. So that's when he gets to the Batmobile, goes to Batman, and heads there as fast as possible to the Batcave. He gets to the Batcave and looks around. Meanwhile, Zoranar's kind of get bigger. He was like, we need the cave. We need this. And he kind of like mentally traps Zoranar, like, get your ass back in the cage. Because he been feeling himself a little bit too much. So he's like, okay, don't worry, I'll be back. But don't worry, Zoranar will be back in the story. I feel he will be back. Meanwhile, the light turns on at the cave. He's like, uh-oh. So the new owner of Wayne Manor comes down. And who is it? Vandal Savage. Why? Cuz?
Yeah.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't Lex Luthor kill this guy? I guess. But
I don't know.
But that was like 2 crises ago, so whatever.
I don't know, but I was like, really?
Like
Vandal
Savage? Yeah.
Right when I thought this was like gritty street
level shit, yeah.
This motherfucker shows up.
Right, the immortal being that world conqueror, yeah.
Fucking
enemy he fucking with Batman, so yeah.
Hawkeye and beats up the Flash and Green Lantern motherfuckers and shit.
Justice Society and all this shit, yeah.
Yeah, like time traveling and space shit.
Like go fight Dr. Fate or some shit.
Yeah, like come on, Chip. Right when I thought, oh, we're getting back to the street level shit, he's gonna bring this wild zaniness.
Chip couldn't help himself. I need crazy Silver Age shit in this book, man. It's too gritty. It's too hardcore. Like, no.
Let's have Daredevil fight dragons.
Right.
Because War of the Realms wasn't enough, So
you were doing so good, Chip. You were doing so good. We made it 2 issues without you going crazy. But
yeah, because I was thinking, and this was gonna be hilarious. I was like, oh shit, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. You thought Selena was going to buy the man. I thought Catwoman. No, I thought Batman was going to go in the Batcave and everything was going to be gone. Like Selena robbed it all.
Like robbed his ass. That would have been a better story. That would have been a story.
I would have laughed my ass. Oh hell no.
That would have been the most Catwoman shit ever, right there.
Because he's a rich asshole. He's rich.
Right.
And she's robbing the rich. That would have been such the gangster shit she could do. And I was so hoping that was going to happen. And then I was like, Vandal Savage.
Like what?
Really? Okay. But that's what she should do. She should rob the Batcave.
There you go. Make it a better story than Chip Zdarsky. All right.
I was a little let down by this book.
I was a little let down also because it was street level, gritty. Now you're throwing in this cosmic, Neanderthal, immortal. Oh, okay. And like Ra's al Ghul is in here. Who we got to replace him? So
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it would have made more sense, but you can't use Ra's al Ghul because Ra's al Ghul's dead.
Yeah.
But hell, Vandal Savage dead. So fuck it. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. I don't know. So,
yeah.
All right. So
here come the dragons. So or the aliens. Or the aliens.
He already fought aliens. Well, he fought a robot cyborg, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So what you got next?
Yeah. So what's your score?
I was feeling it up until the end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because I've already read a story of Batman beating the shit out of Bat Family. We already reviewed this like this year. Like he ran the gauntlet, but they were mind controlled then. This is when they actually like fight, and he didn't fight them all at once either. So I kind of give him a point for that. So I don't know. Still 3.5.
Yeah.
What do you give it?
Like again, I liked it until the end. Like,
Right.
it was cool until Vandal Savage showed up, and then I was like, oh shit. So do I want to read another issue? I guess I'll read another issue. I guess I'll give it a 3.
Here's the thing. I feel like the Vandal Savage shit. I feel like that's okay. Here's something teasing something after this story. I don't think Vandal Savage is gonna be a big deal in this story.
Yeah.
I think okay, when it's all done, now let's deal with the Vandal Savage shit. I think that's
but it was still like the cliffhanger. Like, instead of being like, oh shit, it was like, huh? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, really?
But we still got a cliffhanger, but we still got the Bat Family is after him.
Yeah, and that he's well, it's not the first time Bruce has been broke, but still, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was still kind of a letdown. I was a little anticlimactic. The wind was taken out of my sails.
I get it when Just League villains start showing up and shit, but yeah.
Yeah, like this could have been just so cool. Like, yeah, I like because I'm kind of rooting for Selena in this story.
That's what I'm saying. And that's another thing I like about the story. See, now you're gonna make me bump it up to a 4 because this book did feel like Batman was the bad guy the whole time. Like when he came through in the drone through there, I'm like, oh shit, and I'm like, oh fuck, damn, big on Batman with the prep time bullshit again, you know. And then he start whooping his ass.
You can see that coming because they're all prepping. I remember thinking, okay, everybody's prepping, they're all getting ready, they all know he's coming, but he's gonna throw a curveball. Like I knew that was coming, and then he did, and then when it shows, oh hey, your assets have been frozen and blah 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 blah, you're broke again, and like, oh shit, what did she do?
Right?
Is Selena doing some shit now? I was like, hell yeah, and then it turned out not to be Selena.
Right.
I was like, really?
Somebody's got nothing to do with this story whatsoever. Just like she's doing some bullshit.
Yeah, because I'm really rooting for Selena in this whole story. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll give it a 3.
I'm still sticking with a 4 because you reminded me Batman was the bad guy in this book. So yeah.
Yeah, he's an asshole, total prick.
My type of Batman story, but yeah. All right. So what you got? What you got?
I got Star Wars Dark Droids #2.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is a big. I'm only reading the main books because this is another Night Terror shit. Where it's like 1,000 tie-ins, like every book. Darth Vader, Star Wars, Dr. Aphra. There's like just bounty hunters. Everything's just bleeding over into this crossover. So what's going on is it's the Matrix or Terminator. AI is taking over.
Okay.
A virus got into a droid named the Scourge or whatever, the Scourge virus or whatever, and is now infecting all the droids in the Star Wars universe. They're taking over Star Destroyers. They're, killing a bunch of people. He's basically trying to take over the galaxy, do away with organics, as he says. Ultron. It's Ultron. It's the Matrix. Flesh is weak. It's the Borg. All that shit's in here. And a lot of his narration, because he's talking about how, flesh is weak, and he needs to figure out how to mend flesh and metal together. He's figured out metal, but now he needs to figure out how flesh works. So there's all that. There's all those themes of Isaac Asimov and the Matrix and AI and all that. Blade Runner, artificial intelligence taking over, becoming sentient beings and taking over humanity, all that type of shit. Terminator, all those themes are in this. There is an interesting conversation. Oh, so he tries to infect R2, but can't because this little asteroid mech is actually a warrior. I can read his memory banks, and this little droid has seen a lot. So I'm just gonna get rid of him. So he kicks him, jettisons him out into space, and then goes and has it because he infects C3PO. So this thing is infected C3PO. and then it goes as a conversation with Luke, because this robot, this virus is like, some humans know how to use this thing called the Force, and it's very unpredictable, and I need to figure out the Force. So he goes to Luke and he starts asking him about the Force. Like, you are, even though you are a human, you have a cybernetic hand, so you're part machine, but you're still able to. Do you feel? Does your hand use the Force? And so it's a really interesting conversation. It looks like, yeah, but Luke, the Force goes through all living things, and all this shit, But no, I've never actually thought about if my robot hand, could use the Force and all that. So the robot's like, okay, I need to find another cyborg that is more machine than human that can use the Force. And the one he figures he's going to go get is Vader. And that's where it says to be continued. So this robot is going to try and, the virus is going to try and infect Vader's suit. I'm thinking. So, yeah. So it's pretty cool. I'm not going to read like every tie-in, because like I said, there's like 100 books in this shit. But I'm sticking with just the main book.
All right. So who wrote this?
This is Charles Soule.
Okay, so let me ask you: would you say Charles Soule's like the main Star Wars writer guy, as far as like the comics? Yeah,
he is writing a lot. He's been writing those High Adventure or the High Republic novels.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote some of those, so he has been writing a lot. But also, like Ethan Sachs is doing that. The Bounty Hunters.
Okay.
I've been digging that too. But yeah, Charles Soule seems to have.
Yeah, he seems to be the go-to guy. Like whenever it's like a big Star Wars thing, it's him. Yeah.
I mean, they had Jason Aaron for a while when they first took it over. I think Jason Aaron was writing. Books and the Star Wars book,
Yeah.
But
I feel like he took over after that. But yeah.
Yeah, he's been running a lot of the things. Like I said, he's writing some of the novels now, so too. So. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's again, it's nothing we haven't seen before. It's just this is getting a Star Wars makeover. Ultron, Terminator, Matrix, Blade Runner, with Star Wars themes. So
nice. Okay, we've seen it. We know where it goes.
Yeah.
All right. So next book I'm going to do Fall of X. Yep, X-Men number 26. So I guess this is a landmark issue, because apparently this is the issue where Tony Stark proposes to Emma Frost.
Okay.
So that's a thing. That's what's going on right now.
Okay.
And also there's an assassination attempt going on for somewhere, but we'll get to that. All right. All you need to know, X-Men fucked up. That's all we need to know. All right, moving on. Let's go to it. The book starts off with Kingpin and Typhoid Mary. It's a recap of the Fall of X, where everything went to shit, stuff like that. So apparently, Typhoid Mary was one of the mutants that walked through the gates. So he has no idea what Typhoid Mary is. She's gone. He thinks she's dead. We don't know. But anyway, Kingpin helps the mutants get off Krakoa, and now they're on this somewhere. They're in the subway.
Oh, so, I read. What did I read a couple weeks ago? It was like Danny Moonstar and Magic, Typhoid Mary was there. They went through a gate and ended up in some
like world. Sand or some shit.
Some world, yeah, like with other. They were like Viking warriors or something, like Arthurian legend warriors. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so they're doing something with that. Okay, all
yeah. Right. And I was like, and then it was like it wasn't Emma Frost. It was
the Cuckoos. Was it
no, it was it a clone of Emma Frost or who?
Yeah,
it's not Emma Frost. Like it. Is that her name? I don't know. It was like an evil version.
They're Sabine.
Yeah, something like that. Another version of Emma Frost.
Okay, because I think the Cuckoos it is. So it's like 5 of them. She got like 5 clones.
Okay.
Okay, so it might have been him. Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, I didn't know what was going on. That's why I didn't review it that.
Okay. Main thing, Kingpin is like one of the big characters in X-Men now, because reasons. So anyway, Kingpin makes a deal with him because basically like Orcus attacked y'all, so they made me lose my wife. So now Orcus is my enemy. So if the X-Men hate Orcus and I hate Orcus, basically we kind of sort of kind of working together. So he's kind of teaming up with him, but not teaming up with him. Basically telling Emma Frost, okay, you work for me now. All of you X-Men work for me now. So, and yeah, so what they've been doing, so Kingpin took over the Hellfire Club. So he's no longer the Kingpin. He is the White King. That's what he is. He runs the Hellfire Club now. And also the Black King of the Hellfire Club is Tony Stark. Why?
Oh,
Because. So
Okay.
yeah, so he's drunk off his ass, telling old stories about how he used to whoop everybody's ass and how he used to be big shit with the event and stuff like that. And he just, everybody just think he's some drunk shit like that. And then his assistant grab and takes to the next room. And his assistant takes to the next room. And it turns out what people have been reading X-Men, his assistant is really Emma Frost in disguise. So she's been spying on the Hellfire Club the whole time also, and they can't detect her because she's wearing a ring that hides her mutant power. So they can't even detect she's a mutant. But the reason she's there is because she wants to find out information about Tony Stark. She wants to find out, is Firestar one of his moles? Because if she is one of his moles, then you need to tell her and get word to her that a mutant assassin is on her way to kill her, and there is nothing she can do to stop her. And if she's not one of your moles, well, then I'm just going to go plan a funeral. And Tony's like, oh, shit. Okay, let me make a phone call. So he makes a phone call. And we're gonna go to talk to Miss Marvel also. So Miss Marvel, also a mutant, also an X-Man. She's undercover at we read a story. We know what the fuck's going on with that. Anyway, she sees a mutant get the shit beat out of him, and so she walks over to him. But she realized that if she gets caught using her powers, then she might get branded like a mutant, also like that. Like, so she uses something more powerful than mutant powers to stop these guys. Her cell phone. You're being recorded, assholes. So now that she's recording them whooping ass, they take off running. Like, fuck you, mutie lover. And it turns out the dude that who ass they whoop, he's not even a mutant. He just has alopecia and a little bit of vitiligo.
Okay.
He just looks different, so that's why they beat the shit out of him. So, but he was like, I prefer back in the day when people just looked at me funny other than just upright, just whoop my ass, And she's like, oh yeah, this is completely fucked up. So anyway, we go to Bloom, which is a space station orbiting Earth, where Firestar is chilling right now. And it turns out that Kitty Pryde has snuck aboard. I'm sorry, not Kitty Pryde. Shadow Cat, the ninja assassin. So now she's aboard. And as soon as she comes aboard, they already got this mutant detective thing because their mutant detective thing is flying off the hook. So they send some Orchid soldiers after them. So you already know what's going to happen with that. And Firestar got a gun ready, like, okay, I'm trying to protect myself from Kitty Pryde before she comes in here and slits my throat. So they send just two Orchis guards at her. First thing she does, they shoot at her. She just faced them. Doesn't really matter. Breaks one of them neck. And the other one grabs and phases through the floor, and half of him floats through space, while the other half is just on the ground. I'm like, okay. She's my favorite X-Men now. So yeah. So she goes to the room and Firestars are like, I know you're out there, Kitty. Don't come for me, Kitty. I'm ready for you, Kitty. You shoot through the door. So she looks through the window and she floats through space on the back end to go get her and kicks her through the door. She's like, okay, Firestar, you better start speaking real quick. Otherwise, this is going to be your last time talking. So she just talking, smacks shit out of her, pulls the sword out, and she starts talking. She was like, look, Jean Grey did this shit. Jean Grey implanted memories in Dr. Stacy's mind to make him think I was a spy, but I'm not a spy. She did this shit. Don't kill me. If you do kill me, I'm gonna kill everybody on this spaceship, and that's gonna be it. And she was like, I know you don't believe me, but that's the truth. And that's when Kitty's just like, oh, I believe you, because some stupid shit like that. Only Jean Grey would do some shit like that. So there's no way you could have just made that up, So yeah, I'll let you live. But I do want to let you in on a secret. I can come back and kill you anytime I want. So next time I come back, hand some information for me. Otherwise, I'm taking your head, one or the other. And she walks through the gate, and that's it. I think that's it. Or what else? Oh, this is what else happens. Okay, so she goes back, tells information what's going on. She goes back to Emma Frost, who's in disguise as Tony Stark's assistant, and basically tell him what's going on. I didn't kill Firestar. I left Firestar alive to give us more information about what's going on. And Emma Frost is like, okay, Kitty, we'll go with you because we need to find out information on Cyclops. Let me go tell Tony where I'm going, and then we'll leave. So she goes in the back to the Hellfire Club, walks around, and while she's looking for Tony, that's when she sees Phelon, the dude behind the Orcus that killed everybody, which he didn't even know was a Hellfire member. So she starts going like Kill Bill, when she had like the red glowing eyes and shit like that. Like, okay, I'm about to off this motherfucker right now. I don't care what's going on. But before she does it, Tony grabs her, takes her to the next room. And Tony tells her, like, you can't kill this guy right now. I need more information from him. He still has, my designs on my Iron Man armor. I need him. So, and plus, even if you do kill him right now, there's going to be Iron Man Sentinels on this base right now that will kill you before you can even make it out the room. And she's like, Tony, stand on my way, or I'm going to make you move. And she's like, don't try to touch my mind. They're like, oh, I'm not going to touch your mind. And then she kicks him in the nuts, And then and that's when Phelon walks in the room, like, what are y'all doing in here? And Tony's just like, what I was trying to propose to her. Kind of throw him off the track about what's going on. He's like, will you marry me? And then she just tell Kitty, I won't be able to make it till you find Cyclops. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm on my own. To be continued in Iron Man 10. So, yeah. So the only reason Iron Man is marrying Emma Frost is to kind of throw off Orcus about what's going on. So, yeah. So that's the Fall of X. That's what's going on. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So that book I was telling you about, it's Realm of X.
I've heard of it. I have no idea what it's about.
And they go to Vanaheim.
Oh, I think I did read that. Well, I didn't read it, but I think I read of that. One of the 9 realms. They went to one of the 9. So that's where they are. They're in the 9 realms.
It's Danny Moonstar, Magic, Typhoid Mary, Dust, and then they meet. It's another version of Emma Frost, because that's who I thought it was, but it's not.
It's got to be a cuckoo. It's got to be a cuckoo. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
So they're just in Vanaheim. That's kind of underwhelming. I thought they're gonna be in some more exotic place. But,
and I read it out of obligation. And so
because Thor could just go get them. I don't know.
That's where they went to, because they escaped the gala or whatever and just went through a portal or something, and then just ended up. They didn't know where they ended up, and then
just Vanaheim. Okay. I guess that's all right. Realm of X. All right, I might check that out. So So what you got next?
I'll do this Godzilla, Here Be Dragons, number 3, or
Let's do it.
There Be Dragons, or Here There Be Dragons, whatever.
That There Be Dragons.
So this is the Godzilla versus pirates. Take place in the 1600s, where pirates have landed on Monster Island to find pirates' treasure.
Booty.
Yes, pirates' booty. And it's being told through flashbacks. So the Spanish Armada have captured this pirate, and he's retelling the tale, this tale of woe, and and he's talking about how he was a pirate on a ship, and they found Monster Island, found treasure, all that shit. But he also in this issue, he is suggesting that there's a whole like Illuminati secret organization between all the kingdoms, all the Spanish and the English, and all the royal families that know about these monsters. So
Skull
maybe
and Bones and all that.
Yeah, so maybe it's like I said, this I think is again taking place in that monster verse, that Warner Brothers monster verse, that the new Godzilla and Kong movies are taking place. So this is of the beginnings of Monarch, maybe.
Now, who is Monarch again?
Remember in those new movies, in the Kong and Godzilla, and there's that organization that was studying the monsters, Monarch.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And that's the name of that TV show. They finally dropped that trailer.
Oh yeah, they did drop it. Okay, yeah.
That trailer for that, the Monarch TV series. It's going to feature Godzilla.
So the name of the TV show is Monarch. Okay, all right.
Yeah, Monarch, the Monsterverse or something like that. It's called. Also, they also dropped the trailer for the new Godzilla movie in Japan, Godzilla -1, which looks fucking awesome and kind of fucked up. Looking forward to that. I hope they release. I think they're going to release it in the theaters next year. So, But anyways, so this pirate suggested that there's a conspiracy afoot, that all these royal assholes know about these monsters and shit. And he's talking about how how some of these monsters have been on Earth for thousands of years, and a lot of different civilizations have encountered them and even worshipped them. So right here you can see samurais fighting Godzilla. You can see like Aztecs or somebody worshiping Rodan. I think in this pic I can't see because it's covered up. What are those? What are those guys? Like knights, Arthurian knights or whatever, fighting Ghidra or Ghidorah, and then the pyramids, Mothra's on the pyramids, and for some reason we have the smog monster, Abira, is that his name, or Edora? I get him in a. So I knew this movie as the smog monster.
Okay.
Who's made, and and actually they're Vikings encountering the smog monster, which kind of puzzles me because the smog monster was created out of pollution, like oil slicks and garbage and trash, just kind of gets radiated and forms this big giant blob of garbage that fights Godzilla. So I don't know why he would exist in the 1600s. I don't know, but who knows? What do I? It's comic books, right? But anyways, Anyways, he's telling this story, and they're on Monster Island fighting all these different beasts and shit. And then a couple issues ago, Godzilla. They were being chased. These pirates were being chased by the Spanish Armada, a fleet of Spanish ships. A fleet of fucking conquistadors, colonizing conquistadors. We're chasing these pirates, and Godzilla comes out and just wrecks them all. Wrecks the whole Spanish fleet. Pretty cool. But one survivor. And I guess he's like one of the illest conquistadors ever, and he's after vengeance, and he's actually hates pirates because pirates killed his family and all that shit. So he has a vendetta against pirates. So he's the lone survivor of the Spanish Armada, and he washes up on the shores of Monster Island. So he's hunting the pirates now. But meanwhile, the pirates end up finding a cave where the pirate booty treasure is. The thing is, inside that cave is Godzilla. So Godzilla is the dragon that's guarding the pirates' treasure.
Oh shit! Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's where it ends, to be continued. And I thought, this is a lot of fun. This is a stupid fun. It's kind of just, just kind of doing its own thing with the Godzilla myth or whatever.
Yeah, which is fine with that. I mean, it feels like it's more about the pirates, but I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's less about
it can be told through their point of view. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, from what I understand, these MonsterVerse movies, these Warner Brother MonsterVerse movies, it was the atomic bomb that awoken Godzilla.
But he was already here, right?
He was already here. Whereas in the old movies, he was like a mutation.
Yeah, like an iguana or some shit.
Yeah. This is just fun. And this new, and like I said, it's Godzilla week. Like the trailer for Monarch dropped, the trailer for Godzilla -1 dropped, which was pretty cool. Like I said, it looks fun. It basically looks like a throwback to the original Gojira movie, which still holds up today. I've watched it recently, and that movie's still really dark and kind of fucked up. Even when I was a kid, because my first introduction to Godzilla as a kid, he was a good guy. It was the cartoon in the 70s. But after a while, like through the 60s and 70s, Japan started marketing Godzilla towards kids. So he became like a good guy and a hero. And
became popular.
Evil monsters. Yeah. So that was my first, impression of Godzilla. He was a good guy. And then one day, the original Godzilla black and white came on TV, and I watched it. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Right. Killing people does not give a shit.
Yeah, just wrecking the city, and the somber, dark, sad, tragic shots of like the people, the victims
is there
of the
monster for Godzilla to stop? Like, no, Godzilla.
Yeah, I remember I was a little taken back by that.
Right.
But that's what he was meant to be. He was meant to be a warning against the nuclear weapons, atomic weapons and stuff. And I think this new one, Godzilla -1, is going back towards that that theme. But Shin Godzilla came out a few years ago. That was like Toho's last Godzilla movie, and that was dope. That was really good. That was like a new version of Godzilla, and that was more commenting on like the Fukushima disaster and kind of poking fun at the government and how they respond to like environmental crises and don't do shit about it really. So Shin Godzilla is actually really good, and I was hoping that they would continue that because there's like mutant zombie Godzilla people in that. Like at the end, it was suggesting that like little Godzilla people were being mutated too, which I like. That's pretty creepy. They look like the what are those Aquaman monsters? What do they call it? The trench. The trench.
Yeah.
They look like them. But they never continue. So there's a new one. They're, I guess, rebooting Godzilla again. So, but yeah, as far as this book, I'm digging this. I'm digging this book. 4 out of 5, and I'm booked out.
Cool. All right. So my last book I got is where are you? Black Panther #4. So, like I said, this is the one.
I'm sorry, I pretty much given up trying to read this because I can't.
Well, this was the one we've all been waiting for. This is the one. Okay. Black Panther versus Deathlock. They've been teasing it the whole time, giving us blue balls. Now we're finally here, So
it
now
even says it on the cover.
Black Panther versus Deathlock. So you better give it to us, Eve Ewing. You better give it to us, otherwise, this is it. This you off the Eli. This is the book where I decide whether or not I'm off the train or not. This is it. Let's get to it. All right. So book starts off. It gives you what you want. Black Panther versus Deathlock is here to assassinate the crime boss named Baba. And Black Panther just happened to be here. So he's like, oh, you're the fake Black Panther. Okay, I didn't expect you to be here, but since you're here, I have to go ahead and kill you first so I can take out the crime boss. So they do their thing, fighting, shooting, they're dodging. And he sees Beza. Beza is, of course, Black Panther's sidekick in this whole thing, shooting at Beza. But while he's shooting at Beza, it leaves him distracted so Black Panther can get the drop on him. And normally Black Panther can take out Deathlock, hitting the back panel of his control panel. But since it's Wakandan tech, it's a little bit tougher than what it normally is. He just can't get to it like that. Deathlock kick the shit out of him, shoot missiles at him, blast him point blank in the chest. Like I said, normally bullets don't hurt, but these are Wakandan bullets. So yeah. So right before he can take him out, he like, say your prayers, Black Panther, target acquired. And then his eyes turn yellow and now he's normal again, because basically somebody else is piloting him in the background, like the other crime family is trialing him. Now he's fighting for control, and then Black Panther kicks the shit out of him, knocks him down, and then basically like, okay, he got him on the ropes, go ahead and take him out. They're like, no, I'm not going to do that because he's fighting for control, and I know somebody else behind the wheel right there, I can tell. So while they're fighting, so he does some shit, wraps him up. He was like, okay, hold him down while I access the CPU. And basically like, or I could just go home and just leave you to do it this shit. He's like, you're not going to go home. You want to see how this all plays out. And she just smiled like, yeah, you're right. I do want to see how this all plays out. So while she holds him down, he asks the CPU. He's like, if I get in the CPU and find out what's going on, I can find out who sent them, where they from, location where they from, and I can find out everything I need to know. Before they do that, Deathlock breaks free again, starts shooting at everybody and shit like that. And in the middle, while he's recharging his gun.
Cool panel right there.
Yeah, pretty cool panel. Like he
the reflection of her in his head and shit.
Right, target acquired, all this shit like that. So, Black Panther sweeps the leg, takes him down, and then Beza throws some shit up. So it's like a 2-on-1 attack. And while that's going on, T'Challa is finally able to access the back control panel and breaks it open. And then while he's down, she's like, did it work? And then Deathlock eyes are fully like, it worked. I'm good. I'm back to normal. They don't control me anymore. We can stop fighting. I'm fine. And, they're like, okay, cool. So Black Panther's like, okay, can you tell me at least who did this to you? He like, tell you. I can show you. I can show you the downloaded file. So he uploads some kind of, MP4 video file and shows them who it is. And it's Cassandra Ilonga, basically the member of the other crime family, the rival crime family trying to kill Baba. Like, okay, that's who sent me. And Black Panther's like, look, I got other shit to deal with. I don't have time to like really free from what's going on. But hopefully I've done enough that you can like fuck off and go do some other shit. You're like, I'll be all right. You take care of T'Challa. And that's it. That's fight. That's it. They fucked everything up, but that's the fight. Yeah.
Oh, that was just the beginning.
That's just the beginning. Now we're actually on to the story,
Okay.
Yeah. So basically what's going on, we finally in Yobi, and Yobi hadn't seen him since the first issue And T'Challa visiting him like, hey, cousin, they not really cousins. They kind of have familiar ties, but they're not really cousins. But like I said, black community, we call people cousins for less. So whatever. We're just
Like
gonna
what
go
they
with
would say, the Indian way in our community.
it.
You guys really, I just had a woman just asked me that the other day. I was at me and my brother. I was like, are you guys real brothers or just like in the Indian way? I was like, no.
I've never heard that expression. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new. That's new. Okay. So anyway, the reason T'Challa deck, he basically wants to he wants to find out what the streets are saying about how they fucked up everything, how they was supposed to go on a recon mission to find out what Bob was doing, and when they got into this war with a killer cyborg robot, and basically say, yeah, everybody knows what happened, and you know there's going to be backlash about what's happening. And he also wants to know about, okay, so we know I'm hearing rumors about that the other crime bosses or family members of the crime bosses are disappearing left and right. So what are the streets saying? They're like, oh, you know how they are. Everybody got their own conspiracy theories. So we get to it. I'm gonna show you this panel. So they got this panel about what all the people in the streets are saying, but all of it is really like taking a dig at Coates. It's all shit that Coates wrote. They're like, oh, it's like they're building an underground civilization, or he's taking it going into space. Which was like the build his own space army in Wakanda. You know, so it's like making fun of Coates kind of. He's like, okay, that's bullshit. We're not talking about that. What's really going on? He's like, okay, what I think is going on is Kavuma. I think that's what he said. Kavuma. He was like, well, who is Kavuma? He's like, if you don't know what Kavuma is, I can't tell you what Kavuma is. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even speak his name out loud. That being said, cousin, get the fuck out of my house. And so it's like,
Kingpin?
not Kingpin. The
so like a
Akasi.
Kingpin, the Wakandan Kingpin.
Well, the Wakandan Kingpin is Baba.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is somebody bigger than Kingpin. So yeah, so whoever this is, we'll find out who that is later on. Meanwhile, we cut to Beza. Beza is just doing her own thing. She's reminiscing about her old life in Mohanda. You know, the village she left to come to Burning T'Chaka. While she's doing that, T'Challa shows up. You're like, damn, would you leave me the fuck alone, man? And she's like, look, I need information. He was like, look, every time I'm around you, crazy shit starts happening. I was on a peaceful mission doing shit, and every time around you, kill a cyborg robot, show up and try to kill everybody in the room. So that being said, I'm gonna go off on my own. You be good and don't leave me alone. But while we do that, and I'm let me blow up this panel. Awesome panel right here. Awesome panel right here.
I must say the art is dope in this. Like,
they got a good artist on this right here. So yeah, so Beza is trying to run away, like hop the rooftops, getting away from Black Panther, but Black Panther like easily catches up with her. She was like, how are you so good at this? You're like, I'm the Black Panther. Have you not heard of me? You know, so they just decided to just talk it out and basically saying, look, the reason I'm trying to get away from you because all this war and destruction you bring around me, I am anti all that shit. I don't want anything to do with war because it reminds me too much of my father, because my father had this issue where his only son wouldn't follow him into war in the military. And Black Panther's like, yeah, I understand. I have issues with my brother too, growing up with him and my father. And that's when Babe's like, oh no, you don't understand. My father doesn't have a son. Have you not picked up on what's going on yet, T'Challa? And then T'Challa like, oh shit. Oh, you're a Akulani. Okay, so for people who haven't caught up to what's going on right now, I looked it up. Akulani is a made-up word, but it's Wakandan for transgender. So, yeah. Okay. So we finally found out why Beza left Wakanda. So, and she just talking and just like, okay, well, she's like, that's cool, but let me know how I can be my true self, and just like you became your true self here. So, but the real reason that he wants to find out what the Kavuma is, like since his quote cousin wouldn't tell him, he's like, why don't you tell him what it is? He was like, Kavuma, you mean the devil? The devil did it? Okay, yeah, if you want to say that, yeah, the devil did it. That doesn't really mean anything. The devil does everything. But what we really need to understand is that what happened with Baba, there will be retaliation with the rival crime family. Meanwhile, we go to this roller rink at nighttime, just on a Friday night, Saturday night, whatever like that. And while they're having fun, one of the people that walks in there with a purse reaches to the purse and says compliments of Baba, and shoots the place up. The end. And next issue is going to be crime war in Burning T'Chaka. So, yeah. So, like I said, this is supposed to be about T'Challa versus Deathlock. But guess what? Everybody's talking about from this story.
Oh,
Exactly. That's the thing. Now, to be fair, the people that I have been reviewing this book and talking about this book, that's cool. Okay, we have a trans superhero in there in the Black Panther comics. Okay, that's cool. But we're also all saying the same thing. We cannot let the shade room find out about this. Because of hot media takeout and shade room and all these other people that find out about this, get their hands and find out what's going on in these Black Panther comics, it's going to be a shit show. We know it's going to be a shit show. So for right now, we're just going to keep it amongst ourselves. It's going to be our little secret.
So you're
Basically,
saying
it's going to be our little secret, yeah.
Those usual assholes who like to be outraged over dumb shit,
right?
Who probably aren't even reading this in the first place.
They don't know about this. They've never heard it. They don't know what's going on with this, right?
Yeah. So, but if they were to know,
but if they were to know, they'd be pissed off, right? So we have to make sure that they don't find out. That's the thing.
But no, they wouldn't buy it. I would say they'd have to buy it to find out. They don't buy it.
They don't buy any of this shit.
I'm going like the old school, like when they were burning records and shit, metal bands. They got to buy them to burn them. You know?
No. They're gonna get a whiff of a Twitter scan, and they're gonna see this shit. And they're gonna look up Okalani. They're like, "Wait, what? Black Panther has a trans girlfriend? Like, wait, whoa, where the fuck that come from?"
Black Panther's woke.
Like he already wasn't for the last 60 years, but yeah. So that's the thing. So that's why we're gonna keep this under wraps for now. You know,
what? There's a Black Panther? Why come there's no White Panther?
Right.
Actually,
so they have to find
that. We're bringing up stuff. You that was your old thing.
Right. Just cause an outrage like that. But I did it just to see what would happen if I did it. It was performance, you know. So that's why we're not gonna make this a thing. We're gonna keep it under wraps. We're gonna keep this about Black Panther versus Deathlock and just see where it goes from there. Because I feel like we're only gonna be able to hold this under wraps for only so long before it becomes a shit show. I'm calling it now. If it doesn't,
hopefully it won't get out for a while. That and when it finally does come out, like, yeah, this has been going on a while. You just finding
that is true. That is true. By the time they finally catch on what's going on, this would be old news to us. But yeah, that's how I feel about it now. So overall, cool book. I'm still going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, only because y'all been advertising this Deathlock book for 2 months, 3 months probably.
Yeah,
and then
we
just
read
like
the first 2 issues, and then I felt because I couldn't find the last one, so I fell behind, and now I'm like,
yeah. And then it was just one and done. That was it. I wanted a whole book issue. Them just going in and fighting all through town and shit. Yeah. I want an event. Or just give me the entire issue of them just fighting all over the city and shit like that, throwing pots and pans and shit at each other.
The Deathlock Wakandan War.
Yeah. Maybe I was asking for too much.
Maybe 1 out of 12.
Maybe I set myself on my expectations up for my own disappointment. That's me, you know. But yeah. So I don't know how I feel. How Eve Ewan handled this issue. I'm like, here. I don't know yet. So I'm gonna see how the next issue starts out. Whether or not I continue on with this book, because I think this is like the ending of the first issue, but yeah. So
or the first arc or whatever.
But yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll go from there. All right. So
yeah, because it sounds like they're just using because we thought Deathlock was going to be like this big plot point. You know,
right?
Oh, like a
reoccurring assassin, like Terminator. Every time you turn around, or Winter Soldier, or some shit. Every time you turn around,
yeah, these criminals, these mobsters got a hold of Deathlocks and shit.
Right.
Now they're gonna do some shit, but turns out they're just using them for a mob war, really. So.
Yeah, and Black Panther cured them, and now it's over. Okay.
Yeah.
And plus, we already know Deathlock gonna show up later on, team up Black Panther and whatever. So yeah, we know where it's going. So I don't know. So. Anything else we got or
no? I mean, I read that Birds of Prey book, which was all right. You know,
I looked at the art and I was like, nope. Really? How'd you feel about the art? You like the art of that book? I wish I had a scan. I wish I could go through a scanner, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I mean, it kind of had an old school kind of feel to it. I mean,
it wasn't bad. It was like, do I want to pay money for this? I don't think so. Because I know it's going to be on DC Infinite Ultra in a month from now anyway. So
well, yeah. I mean, I think it had it was your typical first issue. They're Black Canaries recruiting a crew to go do some shit, and then at the end again, like, who's this supposed to be? I didn't know who it was. I guess it's a big character from some old ass book that I never read.
Man or woman?
A woman. Well, it's the Birds of Prey.
Big Barda?
No, she was already in there. No, she
okay.
was one of the first ones. It's like Black Canary, Big Barda, Orphan. Who else? Harley. Of course, Harley.
Right, Harley's on the team also, but it was
Harley.
somebody.
Oh, and what's her face from the Wildcats is on there. What the fuck's her name again?
Zealot. Zealot's in
Zealot. Zealot. Yeah, Zealot's.
Oh shit! You know what? I forgot Zealot was in this book. Now you're selling me on it. Okay. Now you're selling me. Okay, I might pick up issue 2. Now that Zealot's in it.
But then, like at the end, somebody from the future comes back and says some shit, and I'm like, oh, who the fuck is that? And then I looked who it was. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't read any. Like, I guess it's supposed to be a dun 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 dun. There's some deep lore that I'm not aware of.
You don't know the name, because I now I'm curious. I gotta know who it is. Now you're gonna make me read the book because I gotta know who it is.
I'll look it up.
Okay, because I feel like if you said the name, I would know who it is.
It turns out, yeah. But anyways, Black Canary has an adoptive daughter that the Themyscirians have kidnapped and are gonna kill her or some shit like that, or something like that.
What? Okay.
Yeah, and that's why she's recruiting this team to go get him. She's going up against.
And that's why her team is not consistent of Wonder Woman, because she's going against Wonder Woman's family or tribe or village or city or whatever.
Yeah. So this is Meridian.
Can you show me a pic? Because it didn't. Hold up. Let me blow it up. Let me see. Who the fuck is that?
Meridian. Okay. Some of you may know me from this time as Maps or Mia Mizugochi, but in the future I mostly go by Meridian. So I guess she's from one of the Gotham books or Gotham PD books or whatever. That
was a letdown. Okay, I was hoping it was somebody. I was like, I was hoping it was somebody I knew from like the 80s or some shit.
I didn't know. I guess it's a deep cut, like a deep Gotham cut that even me, I didn't even get. I guess a Birds of Prey.
I know my shit. So if I don't know who it is, that's a deep cut. So
yeah. I didn't know, and I'm like, and I guess, I guess I'm not as into Birds of Prey like I thought I was.
Right.
So that's why I didn't review it. I said, okay, I don't know. I was wondering if you were going to read it. So
I started art. I didn't, but like I said, now that Zealot's in it, I want to see if they do Zealot some justice. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Plus, they get cut up on that new Wildcats run. I haven't got into it, but I need to get into it. So yeah. So, last thing we got to talk about. Guess what today is?
Monday.
9/11.
Oh, we're talking about that now after all.
Well, I didn't want to talk about it at the first, when we first day we were doing it, then we'd be all depressed and shit, So yeah.
Okay.
Now let's talk about Starfield. Like Xbox, like no. Just want to say, just everybody out there, just we're not gonna go deep into it because we've done it plenty of times on this podcast over the years. Just want to take time, reflect, think about what you did. Like I said, these kids, they don't know. Back then, black, white, Native American, Asian, whatever like that, we were all scared shitless. Like if you were there, you'd had to be there to know. So yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that is true.
It's almost like that Ozymandias was right. It kind of brought us all together. For like briefly, it brought us all together. And
it was something like a supervillain would pull off.
Pretty much.
You want to tie it back to like it was something a supervillain would have tried to do.
Yeah, and it affected us for a long time. Matter of fact, I honestly think 9/11 still affects us to today, like in ways we don't know.
Yeah,
because just think about the media that we had back then. Honestly, without 9/11, because we was all depressed back then. 2000, we was all depressed because we couldn't laugh, couldn't smile off that shit going on. So that's why you got movies like Batman Begins, like super depressed, or Dark Knight, which was directly related to like 9/11, or even James Bond with Casino Royale. or
Mhm.
Born Identity, all that stuff. It like we had to have depressing action movies, that reflect on us because we was all just, depressed. Nobody wanted to laugh. Nobody wanted to have fun.
Yeah. And I think that also, because I think that gave a rise to like the genre movies, like comic books and like
absolutely,
superhero and
because we were depressed.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Lord of the Rings became huge, and they dealt with a people coming, a fellowship coming together to fight
after a tragedy,
to fight, a threat. Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie,
this first Spider-Man, like the scene in New York when the people of New York helped Spider-Man, like everybody in the theater went nuts because it hit us, it triggered us almost, if you want to say
you fight one of us, you fight all of us, or whatever. When they're all those people on the Brooklyn Bridge throwing shit at the Goblin,
like I don't know if I'm pretty sure they shot that before 9/11, but it just resonated.
Well, you remember the first trailer, the first Spider-Man
trailer had the Twin Towers on it,
and then they got rid of it, and then but the last shot of that movie is Spider-Man on the American flag. I mean, it was, patriotism was this big, huge. It was like marketed, like it was like trendy to be.
And then that Nickelback song, "You're a hero, and not gonna stand here and wait." And that song, it just hit you, man.
That fucking Nickelback song,
right? Oh man.
But in fact, even horror, like again, it gave rise to a big horror trend. All the torture porn and like horror became really hard and extreme
because we was depressed. That's why that shit. We didn't want that fluffy shit back then in the 2000s.
Yeah, and then a few years later, we kind of came out of it and we started questioning that, and then that's why Iron Man.
it hit at the exact time, like Marvel, the MCU hit exactly when it needed to hit.
Yeah.
Because we were too depressed, basically, at that point. So, every TV show, it was an Arab terrorist. Like damn, man.
Remember, I recently, not like a couple weeks ago, I watched Harold and Kumar.
Oh, and that was around that time,
Because that last, I totally forgot about it. But the very ending when they're flying to Amsterdam, and it's like the suspects. Because there's an Asian and an Indian, and it showed their mugshots and then those fucked up caricatures, and I laughed my ass off.
Oh man,
so they made fun of that shit.
Like sometimes you gotta laugh at it. Sometimes you gotta laugh, but like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. If you listen more than 30 seconds, we appreciate you. You help the algorithm. That's pretty much like I say. Also, check out this week in comments I didn't check out this week.
Yes.
I'll
check out Ryan, Taylor, aka David.
If you miss one, you gotta eat a cheeseburger. Okay.
Yeah. Because they were saying last week they only name you.
We only name Gomer. Gomer's like, it's me in my show. Gomer and the Gomer-ettes.
Yeah. And the Gomer backup dancer.
Right. Oh yeah, check out this DC Comics. Like I said, they do other shit. Gomer, you're welcome because I subscribe to you guys on Apple TV podcast, iTunes, whatever that shit is. I subscribe to you on there, so you're welcome. So yeah, all right. Next week we'll come up with some other shit. What do we review? Should I review Fast X again? Now this is on Peacock. Now that people will give a shit, I think I will because it gives me an excuse to do it. Oh, also the Aquaman trailer will drop too, so we're gonna talk about that too.
Oh yeah, I saw that, man.
Yeah. And I think that's it. I think we got a show. I'm pretty sure this is another epic one. We lied and said we're going to keep it short, but that's what we do.
We tried to come in under an hour, and we did not.
We tried. Hey, whatever. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.